Hello and welcome to Kansai Black Ops Basic Training Level 2. Congratulations on completing Level 1 of Kansai Black Ops Training in Jersey. You are all, well, most of you, now ready to receive Level 2 of your training and are well on your way to becoming Master Conservationists. Beware, watching this table alone will not make you Master Conservationists and further studies required. As we all well know, extinction really isn't very good. It has the potential to destroy essential ecological interactions, cause the loss of unique biological diversity that humans may well be relying on, and just generally make people like us very sad. That's why we need you to help prevent extinction. The following training tape will detail some currently identified drivers of extinction and help you do something to prevent them. Driver 1. Habitat loss and fragmentation. Habitat loss and fragmentation reduce the amount of available habitat for a species, lowering the global carrying capacity and inevitably reducing the number of remaining individuals of that species.
Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly.
Driver 2. Overexploitation. Overexploitation by humans is becoming increasingly important in species declines as human population growth continues, especially in biodiversity-rich developing nations. The direct removal of individuals at unsustainable levels is leading to a reduction in species numbers and even extinctions. Also, it can make small children cry. Driver 3. Emerging infectious diseases. Emerging infectious diseases can spread between livestock and wild animals, or vice versa. They can be introduced with introduced alien species and are causing dramatic declines in the numbers of some species. Or just making them throw up porridge. Wow, that's disgusting. Driver 4. It's climate change. Climate change is the change in climate being caused by pollution of our atmosphere by greenhouse gases. Models have suggested that the poles will experience the largest increase in temperature. However, there will be also changes in seasonal patterns and rainfall that will impact the tropics, which contain species that require a much more stable environment. Some species may be able to adapt to a point. Driver 5. Hybridization. Hybridization can be likened to removing the barriers to speciation and can cause the loss of genetic diversity. But isn't this little guy cute? Driver 6. Alien invasive species. Alien invasive species are introduced by mankind that has broken the normal barriers to the species dispersal. It can have devastating impacts on native biodiversity, especially on island ecosystems. Its effect is through direct competition, competition for resources, direct predation, or altering the native environment so it is no longer inhabitable by native fauna or flora. So, what can you do? The following techniques must be used with caution, and it is your responsibility to use them for good, not evil. Solution 1. Captive breeding. Captive breeding can be used to artificially increase the wild population, create a safety net population, or increase knowledge of animal husbandry in case of a future wild population decline. In some cases, it can be very, very difficult, and when there are few individuals remaining that may look identical because of a genetic bottleneck, it is essential that they can be persuaded to breed.
I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh, come on. Woo! Let's get it on. Ah, baby. Let's get it on. Let's love, baby. Let's get it on. Sugar, let's get it on. Woo.
Solution 2. Awareness raising. Awareness raising can be a very useful part of the conservationist toolbox, and a great way to encourage local people to take an interest in the wildlife that surrounds them. As we all know, the best techniques are to provide token t-shirts and caps, maybe even field guides. Alright, he had his awareness raised. Although some people argue that getting your species, for example, red-listed may provoke more scientific interest and further study. Solution 3. Payments for ecosystem services. Payments for ecosystem services schemes can be used as a reward scheme in which local people are paid to do something they wouldn't normally do. For example, not exploit a resource they would normally use.
Phil, what on earth was that? Seriously, we give you one thing to do on your own, and that's what you come up with? It's not even ecosystem services.
Anyway, solution 4 is habitat protection, which can be used to directly protect important habitat for species. And there are many ways of selecting the area to be protected. Paper parks are also a great way of making it seem like you're aiding conservation without actually having to do anything. I now declare the first John Smith National Park open! Solution 5 is to eradicate invasive aliens. This can be through culling or translocations. It can be very expensive, but it really is your only option when invasive species are the main threat. Remember, as Carl Jones says, so everybody, remember, the only good fox is a dead fox. Oh! 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 Ah! Ah! So anyway, your only remaining solution is number 6, alternative livelihoods. This can create a way in which local people can be sustained at the same time as the environment. An incredibly successful technique is the provision of bee farms, tapping into a well-known natural affinity of indigenous peoples to beekeeping. Everybody likes honey. Beware. The money raised from the products generated may encourage people to buy technology to better exploit the resource after you leave. Congratulations on completing Black Ops Level 2 training. Now get out there and save the world, but don't worry too much about the marine stuff.